What I want to show you today is this guitar. It's a Casio, believe it or not, made in 1987. It's Casio MG 510, and it's a Midi guitar. The reason I'm showing it to you is I've had it for quite some time. It's been hanging on the wall just over here, and I haven't played it much, except this last few days. For some reason I got it down and started to realise just what an awesome guitar I've got hanging on the wall there. I've got a couple of other MIDI guitars. I've got a Roland 707 with the massive G700 controller, and also not controller, synth, and also I've got a PVT-60 with a bolted on, which I bolted it on, a Roland GK2 pickup, which runs through a Roland GR33 synth module, much smaller than the G700. What's so extraordinary about this guitar is, despite the fact that it's got the name Casio on it, really should have the name Ibanez, because it was built in the factory, Fuji Gen factory, that built the high-level Ibanez guitars, and it's built like a Super Strat. It's got all those features. It's got all the features of a Super Strat. The body shape, the sculpted body, I think it's 23 scale, 23 fret neck. Really nice headstock. The paint work and the finish on it is unbelievable. The guitar is nearly 30 years old, and as a guitar it's got the features you would expect in a Super Strat, that is to say, single coil pickup at the neck position, single coil in the middle, and a humbucker at the bridge position, and 5-way toggle, volume, and 2 tone controls, and it produces quite a decent sound. This is just running through a little PV Envoy amp with a little bit of distortion on it, so what you've got is so really performs well as a guitar. However, that's not what we're going to show you. I was going to turn the guitar off completely and just play a note. That's if I got this right, and then I'll start explaining. I'm going to try and do this as a fairly quick review. I'm not noted for my speed. This is from a guitar, if you don't mind. It's got sustain that will just, as long as I stand here holding the chord, the damn thing seems to want to continue to sustain. For example, here if we just play the A string and let it ring, we can play up here. So, where is this so unusual from other synth guitars? Simply for this reason. All the triggers or voice triggers are built into the guitar, so you don't need to stomp on a box or watch flashing lights or dance the fandango. As you depress each string, rather each fret on the 6 strings, it triggers a new voice. And each string gives you 16 voices, so up to 16 frets will trigger a different voice for each fret. These first ones, for example, would be pianos. So you just play the note, little indicator lights up just down here, and we have a piano. How good's that? It's awesome. We go to the second string. 1, 2, 3 frets generate organ sounds. In fact, most of the B string seems to generate organ sounds. I kind of like the one on the 2nd fret, which is supposed to be a jazz organ. So if you're playing in a band and you need an organ but you can't afford a Hammond L3 and a keyboard player, your guitarist can do it with one of these. Again, we're triggering this from the neck of the guitar. Just move it up to the 3rd fret and you get a brighter sort of organ. I think it's more heading towards the L3 type of thing. And if you noticed, all I did is I flicked this bottom switch up into a position which is called change, and struck the B string on the 3rd fret, actually the note of D. And what we've got is this. I'm not as good an organ player as I am a guitar player. Hang on, we're playing that from the guitar. But can you see what I'm getting at here? Without having to move anywhere, we can trigger all these different sounds. You can actually blend the MIDI and the guitar sound together, which is by using the switch nearest to me. There are 3 switches here, and it's got guitar only, and guitar and MIDI only. And what we'll do is we'll put it in the position where we've got 2. So now we've got a guitar and organ blended, and I don't know what sort of sound we're going to get. And then if you wanted to burst into song, for example, summertime when the living is easy, and so on. So as we move up the neck, we get a whole range of sounds which I have in fact mapped. Spent about an hour or two yesterday trying to work out what was what and where was where. If we want, for example, overdriven guitar, it's on the second string at the 15th fret. I'm turning the real guitar off. I'm just turning the MIDI up. What did we say? 15th fret, second string. That's it. Was pitched an octave higher than it should have been. I'll explain that in a moment. It should have sounded more like this. Sorry about that. Okay, so guitar sounds. I want to go back to the synth sounds for a moment, so let me just find something with synths in it. Here's the third string, 12th fret, and it sounds like a sort of an electric cello. Now, further to all its other charms, the thing's got an octave switch, which, if you push it away from you, drops everything a whole octave. And with, for example, that cello sound, we now get something fairly evil. And so on. Let's just introduce some synth sounds. This is the 10th fret on the 6th string, and it produces something in the order of an anthemic choir. And this is a really cool sound in my opinion. So if, for example, you were to do some progressive rock, like a song which I'm in the midst of writing called Stonehenge. Gather ye all at Stonehenge, we call his name, he will rise again. When he is among us, we will live forever, live forever at Stonehenge. Drop that an octave, we get Gather ye all at Stonehenge. I just love that. We call his name and he will rise again. When he is among us, we will live forever. Live forever at Stonehenge. Bringing the guitar in. Or turning the guitar up again for a while. I just want to try this note here. I think it gives you some sort of jazz scat thing. Well, I've been working hard on the chain gang. That's all up the mud. I think it's supposed to go like this. Put some guitar into that. I'm going to finish on something which I'll probably stuff up, but we're going to try anyway. Going to get posh now. A Bach fugue in C major, which actually turned out being called A Whiter Shade of Pale. Start that again in the right octave. So there you have the Casio MG 510 MIDI guitar. A couple of other things I just thought I might mention. Runs on battery power, 6 AA batteries go into a little recess at the back of the guitar. It's all very flushed off at the back. It's also got a series of adjustment not screws, it's not the right word, but you can actually adjust the MIDI standards of each string individually for pitch and velocity and so on, so that you can really tune the guitar in. I've not done that. As I say, I've only been playing with this for a few days, apart from the fact that I'm a lousy guitar player to begin with. I didn't used to be, but I am now because I'm old and lazy. But the guitar deserves much better. That's not to say that I'm selling it, because I'm not. I want to play with this quite a lot more. I've actually given it a name. I've christened it. I have to play the right chord for this. I think this chord. Shut up. This chord. Christen this guitar. I hereby christen this guitar the Progosaurus Rex, because I am going to sit down for the first time in a very long time and write some lyrics and melodies and fake as much as I can using my multi-track recorder and produce an album called Progosaurus Rex. You heard it first on YouTube via the Anthony Marius channel. Hope you liked it. Thanks. Bye for now.